We're here. We're back. Be
Yep,
excited. Leo, are you excited?
yep. This is
Yeah,
my
I can tell in your voice you're so excited.
this is my excited face.
This is your excited face. Fantastic. Yeah, well, I think we had a pretty good cadence going. We did like two recorded shows in a row, which was good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. What's going on with you, sir?
Packing. So
Mm-hmm.
after I get
Mm-hmm.
off of here, I'm gonna finish cleaning up, do some dishes, and then pack some more boxes.
When do you pack the stuff behind you? Is that the last thing you're going to pack?
Uh, some of this is gonna get packed up tonight. Like albums will get packed up. I got boxes. I need to go find some suitcases. They say when you pack, you're supposed to put books in suitcases. It makes it easier. And
Hmm.
we put our living room library. That's already packed up. The rest of the books are mine, and those, well, there's a bunch of them down there that belong to Katie too. But the bulk of the books are mine, and they're and not including the comic books. They're in three rooms. Um, our room, the garage, and oh no, just two rooms. So yeah,
Okay,
so
fair enough.
yeah,
Um, so
yep.
what have you been doing since the last time we recorded? I guess assuming packing, right?
Oh, packing,
Yeah. Okay.
packing
And
off and on.
is your
It's
moving
hard.
date still the same? You think? Are your closing date still the same?
Yep, we close on Monday. It's
Okay.
hard to pack with tiny children because either they climb in the boxes or they see stuff that you pack and they want to play with it,
Sure.
or they ruin whatever it is, the flow that you have. So you have to kind of stop, engage, or and then I work. So
Hmm. Hmm.
so it's been a tad difficult, and some stuff we've been going through. We've given a lot of stuff away. We've given a bunch of stuff away, and then we got to sell a crib because the boys don't need a crib anymore. Um,
Hmm.
and then we got to buy stuff. So like we got to buy not a new refrigerator, but we got to buy a second refrigerator because yeah, these little jokers eat and they will eat you out of house and home. So yeah, so little things like that. Um, Furniture is getting delivered on Wednesday. Um, so yeah, uh,
Okay. All right. So let's talk about some nerd stuff. We got one viewer coming in here. Welcome, whoever that is. I don't know who that is yet because I can't tell from the chat, but somebody's watching us now. Um, big news for pop culture nerd world, I guess. Another
uh,
mega merger.
a potential merger. Netflix and Warner Brothers Discovery have reached a deal,
Hmm.
and it seems as if Netflix is going to buy Warner Brothers Discovery for $82.7 billion. But it is only for its film, television. It's for Warner Brothers Film and Television Studio, the video game division, and the comics division. So the cable side will be spun off into another company. And we've talked about this in the past that Warner Brothers Discovery was going to split into two separate companies. The cable division was going to take most of the debt that they had, and which speculation was that they were setting up both companies to be bought by another company or to survive on their own. And
Hmm.
that's exactly what happened.
So I found this interesting because I think 2 or 3 years ago, or at least before the Microsoft acquisition of
Hmm.
um, Activision, I think I would
Hmm.
have been more on board and happier about this.
Really?
I think so. But and you said it when it happened, not that the Microsoft Activision thing would be the worst thing in the world, but it wasn't necessarily the best thing in the world either. I think you said that more than anybody else, at least of the two of us, because I was on board. Um, I still think it could be good, but I'm definitely not as bullish about it as I was after it's happened for sure. Um, and I look at this acquisition as just like I feel like it seems like a bad idea because we don't know what Netflix really has planned for Warner Brothers. And as we've seen from Microsoft and other acquisitions of other companies, a company will say everything to your face for the first 90 days or so. And then they're like, now that we've got it, we'll do whatever we want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So are you, I mean, I think I know the answer, but we haven't really discussed it. How do you feel about this potential merger or potential acquisition?
Uh, I'm gonna try not to be prisoner of the moment or hyperbolic, but I do think it is the worst. It is probably one of the worst business decisions for consumers since AT&T bought Warner Brothers. I think it will be one of the worst for, and now when I say that, I mean for us. I mean the people who buy the services, who buy these products, who care about these stories. I do think this will be one of the worst things for us. Um, I when we talked about the Microsoft buying Activision, it was Microsoft buying, not Xbox.
Hmm.
Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. I was definitely bullish on it because I knew we learned in school about monopolies and what that means for consumers, and too much power consolidated in a handful of companies means there's no competition, which means there's no reason to lower the price, which means you're stuck with a bad service with no repercussions or no outlets. And let's look at the two companies as they stand. Warner Brothers Discovery is a company that owns about 100 years of IP, um, dating back from when they were a film company. They also own a comics division, Detective Comics. They also own a video game division, Warner Brothers WB Games. They own a a bunch of cable networks: TNT, TBS, uh, Turner, um,
Turner Classic Movies.
Turner Classic Movies, um, CNN. I'm trying to think. There's a couple of more, but they own a bunch of
Food
stuff.
Network, all of, yeah.
Food Network, Bravo, HGTV, um, Magnolia Network, Chip and Joanna's new network. They own a lot of stuff, but they've been mismanaged in the past, and a lot of that goes back to that original sin that I talked about of AT&T buying Warner Brothers, and then AT&T spinning that company off, and the Time Warner AT&T deal was is recorded as one of the worst deals in history. I think for the consumer that will be us, this will be our litmus test because with Netflix buying all of that, they will then control a a comics division of what whether or not they decide to continue on with selling comic books. Your weekly, you call them floppies, but will people still be able to get those comics that they like because that may not be in part of Netflix's portfolio to have those characters still in comics. It may be too costly for them. They own a video game division. They would own a video game division. They would own the film and television shows. Now the question is, do they get rid of HBO Max and lump all of that into Netflix? Of course, you would still keep HBO and you would still let that be a premium cable channel. But what about your theatrical releases? What about your uh, physical movies. Warner Brothers still sells physical media. Netflix honestly has been forced a lot of times to make physical copies of their content. Um, so it's I think this is a terrible idea. But here's the other side of it. The other people who were involved in buying Warner Brothers weren't any better. Paramount and Skydance was looking to buy Warner Brothers, the whole thing. They wanted all of it.
Hmm.
And let's be honest, that was a bad deal for the consumer as well. Um, so I'm a little ho hum on all of this because I think Netflix is a better company than Paramount Skydance, but I also think that their business model is not theatrical releases, is not selling you something physical. Everything that Netflix does is to keep you on their app, and buying all of this stuff is just to keep you on that app. And so that's where I come down on all of this.
So with this potential acquisition, you talked about it for a second, but I want to highlight it also is this idea of them owning a game division. Because if you don't know, Netflix does have a game division.
Hmm.
They have games you can play on Netflix now.
Yep.
I'll ask you in a second, but I'll ask our viewers who are slowly coming in. We're at 8 strong, so that's good. Thank you for everybody who's coming in. I know we haven't been live in a minute, so thank you guys for showing up for supporting us. But for people who do own Netflix, do any of you play the actual games? I'm curious. Just let us know in the comments. I think I've played one
Hmm.
Netflix game in the entire time that I've owned Netflix. I think I played it once. Um, I don't find it easy to use. So yeah, I kind of tend to shy away from it. I'm curious, have you played any Netflix games?
Me and Katie just played Boggle the other night.
Okay. Okay.
You can do use your phone. Now Boggle's easier. Now it still was hard to play it because the response time when you do on your like you're on your phone, and then if for those of you who don't know Boggle, what Boggle is, it's a word game. It's a little box. You shake the letters up, and then you could. It's either there's a 4 row Boggle, word letter Boggle, so it's 4 by 4. There's 5 by 5, and I think there's a huge Boggle that's 6 by 6. I'm not sure, or Boggle Bowl, and then there's like a Boggle, like a tower, so to speak. And so like when you find words, you go like the letters have to connect. Like if you play strands on the New York Times, it's like that. Um, so me and her, we were laying in the bed, and I clicked on Boggle, and they don't have the party. They have one of the party games that you can play on PlayStation, but they haven't done. They have like Oxenfree. They have a couple of well-known games, but not a lot of games. Um, and it is clunky, and you can use a controller. There are controllers that you can use to play with Netflix, but a lot of people don't know that Netflix is trying to get into the gaming atmosphere. But this will be a huge thing for them, a huge acquisition into video games and getting people to recognize them as a big player in the video game space.
Sure. Yeah. For me, I'm trying to look at their past performance to see if we can get any idea on how they will do with the studios. So essentially, the studios, and I can't remember everything that Warner Brothers owns, but they have NetherRealm, which is Mortal Kombat and the
Hmm.
DC Injustice games.
Hmm.
They have Arkham, Rocksteady Studios,
Hmm.
which is the Arkham games. Um, who's doing Harry Potter?
I thought that was the people who did the Lord of the Rings games.
Could be, I don't know. But
Oh,
they got that studio, and maybe there's another studio because for anybody who wasn't keeping up, Warner Brothers considerably downsized the amount of studios they had because they said they just wanted to work on the things that were making money, essentially, which were Mortal Kombat, Harry Potter, and maybe Game of Thrones is like game stuff they were trying to work on. So they really cut down on how much stuff they were doing. Um, because yeah, like we haven't had a Lord of the Rings Shadow of Mordor game in 7, 8 years, something like that. It's been a minute.
More than that, I think it's been more than that.
Okay.
Because remember that company was supposed to be using the Nemesis system for the Wonder Woman game they were supposed to make, and that
Yeah, that
got
game has been canceled.
um. So I'm on the Warner Brothers Games website.
Hmm.
So uh, the last couple of games, like you said, that came out for under their umbrella: Suicide Kill the Justice League, Hogwarts Legacy. They have a Game of Thrones mobile game, a Quidditch mobile game, and then they have DC Worlds Collide. Um, and then they also remember the Batman Lego games uh, were made. What's in
Those are like Telltale games, right? But is that
Telltale?
a Warner Brothers property?
So Warner Brothers Los Angeles, Warner Brothers San Francisco, Avalanche, NetherRealm, Warner Brothers Boston, New York, Montreal, Rocksteady, and TT Games.
TT Games, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm I'm bullish on this for a number of reasons, but this this acquisition scares me more so than in any of the other ones because it affects more things that I like. One and two, I knew what I could speculate what Microsoft was going to do, and most of what I speculated came true. Not that I was some Nostradamus. I knew Game Pass was going to go up. I knew studios were going to get closed. People are going to get laid off. That wasn't a hard looking at what Microsoft was going to do. That wasn't hard. Now, I will say that I was a little shocked that they pulled back on hardware. I thought
Hmm.
I thought that I didn't realize that they would pivot so hard in being a developer, and I thought they would kind of ramp up hardware because they're like, look at what we have on our platform. I didn't realize that they were going to lean into this. Everything's an Xbox. So I did miss that one. For this, I think what scares me is you don't know what Netflix is going to do or who they'll put in charge. Because so let's take let's take DC and the DCEU for a second. Not even the other stuff that they own. Let's just take those properties as it is. Right now, James Gunn and what's his name?
Peter
Safran,
Safran.
Peter Safran are in charge of the DCEU. They're the people who are shepherding what's going to happen for the next few years for this iteration of the DCEU. Netflix bought a comic universe to compete and to actually bring in people from that ecosystem, so to speak, because they wanted to build their own franchises. They bought what's called the Millerverse. That's where your Super Crooks, Jupiter's Legacy, and what was the other one? That's his world. Mark Miller is a famous comic writer. He owns his own company, but his comics of late, a lot of people have said are just spec scripts. He now don't get me wrong, Mark Miller's credited for writing some of the best comics. But recently, when it comes to this Millerverse, he's been writing a lot of stuff that people feel like this is just the storyboard for this to be turned into a property. He is very influential at Netflix to the point where there are some reports that he was influential in Netflix not buying Valiant Comics or least or getting their characters. Now, Valiant Comics are the people behind Bloodsport. Remember, that was the movie we watched right before the pandemic really hit with
Bloodsport or Bloodshot?
Bloodshot. Thank you.
I was like,
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. JCVD?
John Claude Van Damme. You're right. Bloodshot. So that's that universe. Now, what if Netflix says we don't want your DC people, we want our own people in charge of this universe, or we own everything? Why don't we just merge them together? Or crazy fucking idea. Sorry for cursing. Owe my kid a quarter if he hears me. Zack Snyder has a deal at Netflix. See where I'm going? There's already hashtags. We know those people have never gone away. That's what I said. So that's just one side of the film division. We
I
have no
wonder. We're not getting any more Rebel Moon.
who
Uh,
knows?
I don't. I don't think we are. And I say that to say I feel like I know people are pushing that Snyder thing. I could it happen? Yes. I think that is low on the possibility because I don't know that Netflix is high on Zack Snyder right now after these Rebel Moon movies have not taken off.
Here's the thing. I agree with you. They have not taken off on Netflix. Here's the other part of it. You now have Warner Brothers. Who's to say you wouldn't put Rebel Moon on HBO Max? Because Warner Brothers has always leased their properties to Netflix. You just wait long enough, and whatever was hot on HBO Max and Warner Brothers will end up on Netflix.
Hmm.
Who's to say that that won't go the other way? Bolster, give some of that stuff a life on another platform because you now own everything. I'm not saying it will happen. I just don't know because I we Todd Sarandos has said his biggest competition, Netflix's biggest competition, is. And you know what? Let me not say Todd Sarandos because I don't know if it was him, but I know it was a Netflix executive who said their biggest competition was video games. I think their biggest competition is social media and YouTube and that algorithm. But you now own a video game division and you need people to buy into your ecosystem. You need people to buy into your IP. And who's to say that those IPs can't cross over? Um, that and what I say to that is that's just one aspect of it. And there's a Netflix executive who has said our bread and butter isn't the theatrical releases. Our bread and butter is get you on this app. So does that curtail how long the theatrical window is for Warner Brothers movies? And not only that, does that curtail some of these movies even getting a theatrical release? Because how long was son? You almost got punched in the face because you walked up on me.
Are you talking to your child?
Yeah, he just walked up on me. I didn't know he was there. Reflexes, man.
Reflexes. Protect your neck.
Go get an apple and go to bed. He almost got throat shot for real.
Kay, I don't know how our because Kay wanted to add a link, which I was cool with, but I don't know how to let that happen through Restream.
Could she
Because
just put
even though we're on YouTube,
could she just put it in the chat?
I mean, yeah, Kay, if you can try and put it in chat. I don't know if it'll let her because I think she was saying maybe she needs permission, but I don't know how to do it through Restream,
Hmm.
and I don't have the backend on YouTube open to make that happen.
So yeah, the reason why I say I don't know what, and I'm worried about the theatrical window. And I believe somebody said it might have been Kay who said that they are willing to honor all current agreements up until 2029. After 2029, all bets are off.
That's what they say.
And we saw exactly what happened with the Microsoft Activision deal. Oh yeah, we'll do certain things, but we saw exactly what happened. What a year? How long has that Activision Blizzard deal?
Maybe it's been 2 years now.
It's been no, I'm saying like since it actually the deal happened to when it actually like when did the
Oh,
FT like when was the deal like it was good? Microsoft owned Activision Blizzard to when
yeah.
they upped the price
Oh,
fifty
I
percent.
don't. I don't know.
And so I say that to say Netflix is going to go up. HBO Max already went up. Ad free HBO Max is more expensive than Netflix. I know because I canceled HBO Max and kept Netflix. Um, and I know because I got mad because I canceled it a day before Weapons ended up on HBO Max, and I was like, damn it, I wanted to watch that. Um, so so you have that potential problem. Also, on the flip side of the film division, you have actors, producers sending letters rallying Congress, regulatory commissioners to kill this deal because they think that's bad for Hollywood. And I'm like,
Mm.
wake up. Where were you all these other years before when we've been on the stream talking about what's bad for Hollywood? Like having five companies is a bad business deal. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think for them, it didn't hit them until they realized, oh, now I have fewer options to get my stuff made.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I feel like one of the big vocal ones has been Nolan, right? Chris Nolan talking about like, or
I,
was it James Cameron?
I haven't seen which one of those.
I don't know. I feel like one of those big names are saying,
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, you got to remember, Nolan has a beef with Warner Brothers they ever since the pandemic when they put everything up on HBO Max day and
yeah,
date. And then
yeah,
remember that was his last straw, and that's why he left and went to Universal, and then signed up with them for all of his movies. That's why Oppenheimer came out under Universal. His last movie with Warner Brothers was Tenet. Again, right in the middle of the pandemic. Um, and keep in mind, Netflix is forced into putting their stuff in the movie theaters. Stranger Things just dropped
hmm,
final season. The first part, the second part will be on Netflix,
Christmas Day.
and then the season finale will go up in theaters. And the creators lobbied Netflix to put the season finale in theaters. And at first they said no, but it wasn't until the backlash of fans and they started seeing online the chatter that people wanted to see this in theater, a communal experience for the end of this legendary show, that they relented and said, okay, we'll put it in theaters. What is it, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day?
Hmm.
And then it'll go to the streamer. They haven't put their stuff in the theater willingly. Now they did buy a theater in Los Angeles, but a lot of people believe that was so that they could show their movies, so that they could enter them for Oscars.
Hmm.
So that's why I said I have a I'm very wary of all of this. My question to you is, what did you initially think when you saw this? Were you shocked, surprised? Were you paying attention at all? Or was this something that just kind of
No, because through the news station that I work at now and the company that owns it now, we do more mobile shorts. Like
Mhm.
we're pushing that, and that it requires essentially, at least at our station, we require every employee to do at least one, even the managers. So I've been doing more mobile shorts for our website. And one of the stories I did a couple months ago was talking about the people who were trying to buy Warner Brothers. So I was kind of watching this.
Okay.
Um, I didn't expect it to go through so quickly, I don't think. But I was like, oh, I know it's coming. And I knew they were looking. I was like, oh, it's here. All right. Um, and granted, we still, you brought this up in our chat with our people saying that Paramount is pushing back on this, really trying to make sure it doesn't happen. So it's not official. It may not happen.
So
Um,
so Larry Ellison. Now here's the funny thing. Do you know who really came up with who I don't want to say pushed, but who lobbied for Warner Brothers to get bought?
who?
Larry Ellison.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Larry Ellison lobbied and was the first person who said, "Oh, we should buy that." Now, part of the reason why, and this is reported, part of the reason why Larry Ellison wanted to buy, who Larry Ellison owns Oracle. So this is a very wealthy person, one of the top 10 wealthiest people in the world. Larry Ellison and his son made the move to buy Skydance and Paramount. Now, part of the reason why that deal went through was because Larry Ellison is good friends with the president, Donald Trump. And part of the reasoning behind allowing this deal to go through was because Paramount owns CBS. And
Hmm.
Trump had a big beef with CBS. And when that deal went through, Larry Ellison and his family allowed pro Trump influence into CBS. Barry Weiss now heads the CBS News division. Certain layoffs happened. We saw. I watched. What is it? Saturday Morning with Hannah. What is her? I just watched it. They got laid off. That whole team of Saturday Morning got laid off, and um, and the reporting is Larry Ellison wanted CNN to do the same thing. He wanted all of it, but the thinking is that he was using his influence and the Trump administration to coax Warner Brothers into saying, "Let us buy you because we have a direct line into the president and the regulatory commission, and our deal will go through much smoother."
Hmm.
He's written two letters, one lambasting the deal, the second one he's written, and I can pull up this article. He's written directly to shareholders. He wants the shareholders to buck this deal. Um, Now, Netflix has put in a poison pill into the deal, and I'm trying to find it because I heard on when I was driving in, I heard it was $5 billion. That if the deal falls apart, Warner Brothers is on the hook for 5 bill. I haven't seen it reported anywhere else, and I need to see it in print.
Hmm.
But this deal is supposed to go through next year. That's when they want it to be confirmed. This deal ain't going through the next year. It may not go through in 2 years. It also may not happen in 3 or 4 years because there are people lobbying the Justice Department to sue to stop this deal from happening. Darrell Issa, congressman out of California, has written a letter. This deal has gotten a lot of scrutiny, and there is a lot of eyes on this from of various entities, whether it's the Screenwriters Guild, the Actors Guild, the Directors Guild, whether it's the theater chains. A lot of people have issues with this deal because they are scared of Netflix owning all of this IP and what that means for their livelihoods.
Sure. No, I think that makes sense. Kay, to answer your question, yes, shorts for news, yes. Tegna, the parent company that I work for, is getting its stations where they're trying to do a bigger effort to get people to watch more news wherever we can. So if that includes doing mobile shorts and all that stuff in the form of TikTok, not TikTok style, but TikTok length type formats and stuff, and those mobile vertical shorts, we're trying to do that more snackable, digestible news bites because we are launching new mobile apps for all of our Tegna stations coming soon. But yeah, um, yeah, I am. It's so interesting just to think all these
Found
things
it.
that Ted is talking about with the what what he will allow, saying that, oh yeah, we'll continue to show movies through 2029. I think he says that now. I think if this thing goes through by 2027, he's like, we're changing it. I think that's entirely possible that he may balk on that because
I think I
there is nothing like if
Go
it
ahead.
goes through, there's nothing that's going to keep him honest to make him do that.
I I think he'll do parts of it. And that's what I said. I don't know how much of it. Like I don't know if like perfect example. I believe your big blockbusters, your Superman, your Batman, I think those will still go to the theaters because I think that's stupid. Not, I think financially it will make sense for those to go. I think Blue Beetle, you ain't getting a theatrical release. I think um, the idea of maybe some of these smaller movies that could creep in. Perfect example: Sinners, Weapons, two big hits for Warner Brothers. That's not going to the theater. Like that, and that's where I'm. That's where I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen
Hmm.
because I watched Sinners in the theater and I was blown away. Um, I bought the Steelbook version, and I'm mad now because I bought the Steelbook version the day I watched that movie. I watched it. It came out. I was so impressed. I bought that Steelbook. I got it at a great price, and then my order got canceled. And I hate this company. I'm not going to name them, but they made me so mad that I deleted. Like I was like, I will never buy from you again because if I like a movie, I will buy. I will buy it. I enjoyed this movie. Really
Hmm.
did. Loved it. I have an Apple Plus account. Apple TV Plus account. It's going to drop on December whatever. I want to own this movie for a number of reasons. One, I want to own this movie because I believe if you like something, you should spend your money to show that you like it so that other things like this will get made. I own it because you never know when that thing could be taken off of that streaming service.
Hmm.
And three, I own it so I don't have to see fucking commercials in it when I watch it when I want to watch it. Because every streaming service, unless you buy their ultimate tier, is playing ads.
Hmm.
I didn't realize that when we went switched from paying for Disney directly, like that three. Remember, we had that 3 year. We bought
Hmm.
Disney Plus. So after that deal ended, I just been buying it yearly at the highest price. Well, we got it through Verizon now, which is $10 a month. And I was like, okay, that's good. I didn't realize it was the ad supported tier. So I'm
Mm.
watching Ralph Breaks the Internet, and there's an ad that comes in, and I'm like, what the fudge is this? And I'm like, oh,
So on Disney, there's an ad.
yeah, in
Huh.
movies, everything. There's an
Wow.
ad tier. And so I didn't realize that when I bought it or when we switched. So now I'm like, okay, do I keep this? And I'm honestly, I am not sure. I know one thing. I will never go down on Netflix to the ad supported tier. But every other one that I do, so like we canceled HBO Max. My wife wants it back when The Pit comes back.
Hmm.
I'll get it for 3 months, however long The Pit's run is, and then I'm going to cancel it. And
Sure.
I'll do the not the ad supported. And here's the other thing: Black Friday showed me that they're just being greedy because all the ad supported tiers on Black Friday for every streaming service was guess how much?
What, like $1 or something crazy?
$2.99 a month
Hmm.
for a year. So
Hmm.
if you can charge $2.99 a month and you're nah. And so my thing for this is, and I wouldn't mind if you had ad breaks in regular television shows. Like if I watch Friends, right, on
Hmm.
HBO Max, and you put ad breaks where the ad break was in Friends. I'm not too mad about that. I watched it on TV when it had ad breaks. I'm not too mad about that. The Big Bang Theory, whatever. But if I'm goddamn watching Top Gun, and
Yeah.
nah, I'm not doing that. And so that's why I still buy physical media. And I do not like this idea of them owning everything because to me, Netflix can't be trusted. No corporation can be trusted.
I was going back. Somebody asked, maybe it was Herbert Thornton. It was
Mhm.
asking about Miles Morales' creator, Sarah Pacelli.
I don't. Yeah, you gotta put more.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did put
Did something happen?
I don't know. I did put in. I did find it. Netflix put a poison pill, $5.8 billion breakup fee for Warner among largest ever, and that was because they were worried about because Larry Ellison and his people are threatening a hostile takeover. They're threatening to break up this deal, and Netflix is like, okay, cool, break up the deal, run us our $6 billion.
Hmm.
So I'm, and that tells you how much money is to be made off of this deal. That if it doesn't go through, it's the largest poison pill ever of almost $6 billion.
When we first in our first channel, you used to always talk about the streaming cold wars,
Hmm.
and you said we moved past that. We're in the streaming wars. Are is this still the streaming wars, or is this the
Oh,
end
this
game? What is this now?
oh this is the streaming where this is this is the streaming Empire Strikes Back. This
Okay.
is this is this is dropping a bomb on your enemy. This is the Oppenheimer. This is D-Day. This is like this is war.
Hmm.
And here's the other part of it is all the other streamers are now paying attention to this because the question now becomes, what about us? Because you now have the largest, and here's the other part. Warner Brothers doesn't have the access to the global market that Netflix does.
Right.
You talk about all the time how you watch Bollywood movies on Netflix.
Hmm.
Korean movies are now shown on Netflix. We've got a huge African market on Netflix. Netflix has a huge reach, and Warner Brothers is like, "Oh, we're about to show Batman in freaking New Delhi."
Hmm.
Like, it's for Warner Brothers, they're licking their chops because they know the return on this investment is going to be great for them. But everybody else, Apple, uh, NBC Universal, even Skydance and Paramount. Because here's the funny thing, I didn't want Skydance and Paramount to buy this company either, just because they don't do a good job with their own theatrical releases.
Right.
You've owned Transformers. You've owned Transformers. Who else? Star Trek, and what's some other properties? And you guys stink at it. When was the last time we got a Star Trek movie?
I mean, well, I mean that feel like that's been in limbo because they were talking about Quentin Tarantino doing one, and then that got killed. So who knows?
But my point is, you have IP. I don't need you to buy more IP for you to fuck that up. You already own IP you can't get right. The only IP that you've gotten right was the company that bought you, who had Skydance, who had Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise. Now, if Tom Cruise had bought Paramount, that's a different story because I believe
Hmm.
Tom Cruise actually seems to know what he's doing. But I don't know. I have a very leery feeling about all of this.
Oh yeah, Banks did bring up we haven't had Star Trek movies, but they've been doing a bunch of Star Trek TV shows.
That's great for TV. That's great for TV. I would like I still want a Star Trek
Oh,
movie
we did
franchise.
get a Star Trek movie. Nobody watched it. It was the spinoff show, the one with Michelle Yeoh, her spinoff from
Oh, Section
Discovery.
31.
Yeah, they did that movie
Was that shown in
that
theaters?
nobody watched.
Was
Huh?
that shown in theaters? I can't remember. I think it did. It get
I
a
don't think
theatrical
so.
release?
I think it was just on Paramount Plus.
Again, Zaylan Maru. That's television. Yeah, that like I'm not knocking them for their television series. And here's the other part of Paramount and their fuck ups. They didn't even have Yellowstone when they first made their streaming app.
Yeah,
Peacock had it.
yeah.
And here's another thing. Tyler Sheridan is leaving his deal at Paramount.
Oh, where's he going?
He hasn't
You know?
said yet,
Okay,
but
interesting.
his deal is almost over. But yeah, I am very wary of all of this. Um,
So if they merged,
so
that I think I saw something that Netflix is the number one streamer and HBO Max is the number three streamer,
mhm.
with Amazon being number two. So now those one and three would become super huge. Um,
Mhm.
is there even if this doesn't go through, it seems like an inevitability that if somebody will eventually buy it. So it seems like we're
Mhm.
headed down this road eventually, whether it's
Oh
through
yeah.
Netflix or Paramount or whoever.
Hmm.
Um,
Remember, Comcast was looking to buy it as well.
yeah,
There was talk of Apple looking at buying it, but Apple was like, "Nah, we good with our little niche streaming." You know.
yeah, and I enjoy Apple TV Plus, like we talked about it for a second. I enjoy it a lot, but their price has gone up from the 6.99 a month to I don't know what I pay. They got me.
From
Is it 12.99 I'm paying a month now? Yeah, I don't even know. Okay. Um,
because I actually pay for Apple TV.
trying to think anything else with that. Uh, no, I mean, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. That's all I can say is we'll see what happens. Somebody brought up, I think it was Banks, maybe brought up that a streamer that we've talked about, or at least I've talked about before, Maximilian Dude, who's really big about fighting video games. He's really like that's his main thing that he talks about on YouTube and Twitch. Saying apparently the paperwork does not talk about really games or gaming related stuff for the Netflix stuff. So
The what?
that is
The what?
worrisome.
Repeat what you just said. I'm trying to figure out.
Banks said it. Yeah, Banks 757 says, not sure if you all addressed this, but Maximilian Dude pointed out that the paperwork for the deal doesn't mention anything about games or gaming.
So supposedly the gaming division was supposed to be so the from what I understand is when they split into the two companies because that's still happening. The split was the cable would go in this whatever the Discovery company was, and the video game division would be lumped in. The video games and comics would be lumped in under the film division because they'd already moved. Comics moved to Burbank because DC Studios used to be in New York, and they moved them. They moved the DC Comics division headquarters to Burbank and rolled that under the film division. And I believe they did the same thing for video games. The Warner Brothers video game division is under the film division. But I'm trying to find where that article is because I refuse to look at ads. And Variety's like, well, you got to pay for ads. And I'm like, no, I won't. I won't do it.
You'll circumvent all that.
Kiss, yep, you can kiss my ass.
Fantastic.
Um, so yeah, I think it was Banks who was saying, uh, that's awesome for Star Trek. The issue with Star Wars has is that too many people, too many movies can tell. I Here's the thing. I every one of these franchises has issues. My problem is tell good stories in your universe. I don't mind, and I actually like the television Star Trek shows. Me and Michael talked about this all the time. I think Lower Decks is one of the best shows ever to
Yeah, it's
come
good.
out.
Good show.
Is to come out, and we would never see that from Star Wars. I think Strange New Worlds is amazing. I like what is it, Discovery. I like Discovery. I didn't fall in love with it, but I like what they were trying to do with it. I really enjoyed Picard, so I don't mind Star Trek going the way they did. And I didn't hate all the Star Wars stuff. I think a lot of people get a bad rap because of the trilogy didn't give them what they wanted. But I think bringing Clone Wars, final season, The Bad Batch, uh, Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Sith. I think a lot of that animated stuff was great. The first season of Mandalorian was good. I still like the Mandalorian. I think Boba Fett was, let's not talk about that. But I
Yeah.
think a lot of the Star Wars stuff was decent and good. Um, but I want to see more movies. I want to see a big budget Star Trek movie on the screen. And I say that for a lot of stuff. I love the theatrical experience. One of the highlights of my year was taking Evan, my 5 year old, who scared the shit out of me, um, like literally scared me, um, to see Jurassic World Rebirth in the theater. And him loving that experience, getting him popcorn, like taking him to the like me, him, and my dad taking my son to the theater. Like that to me was a great experience. Um, so I've I'm always for that. So that's why I'm very, very scared about all of this. Um,
How much do you think we're going to be paying for the new Netflix Warner Brothers thing
so
down the
here's the
line?
funny thing.
Not initially, but like down the line.
Here's the funny thing. I have a feeling what Netflix would do, and which is smart. You keep HBO Max as your premium, kind of like Apple TV Plus, Apple Plus. You keep that as your here's premium stuff. You strip out all that bullshit, that HGTV stuff, that the reality crap, all of that stuff. You put that shit on Netflix, and you start making HBO Max what it was. It's not television, it's HBO. You keep all that stuff over there. And so you have it to where you can do HBO Max and you keep that price as low as possible. And then
Hmm.
you have Netflix and you that price goes up. It is because you're going to have this other library that you're going to be able to inject over here. But then you have an all-in-one deal where you get sports. Um, you still make a deal with that other company that you spun off to lease their content into live sports. Netflix is
Mhm.
getting the live sports. When Netflix has wrestling, they have the football. Was it not the Christmas game? Is it
Yeah, they have
Christmas?
a football. They have a Christmas game.
They have a Christmas game. So you roll all that up and you say, for $30, you can have it all. Not ad supported, you could have it all. For $30, that's not a bad deal.
Hmm.
For
Yeah,
30 for $30, that's not a bad deal. But it is going up. Now, is it going up 50% like Game Pass is? Or Game Pass? I have no idea. But it's going up because again, right now HBO Max is at, without ad supported is more expensive than a not ad supported Netflix account. I
okay.
so I it's going up. It's just a question of how much and how they restructure all of this. Because again, that's where my biggest concern comes from. Well, how does this get restructured? How do these apps survive? Because Disney is make because we all know Hulu's going away next year, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Hulu's going away next year, and Disney's going to
And just put it all under Disney.
because if you go to Disney Plus right now, you can see all that Hulu stuff on there.
Yeah.
So after next year, hold on, what? Let me look that up real quick. Um, Hulu. Yep. Disney is combining Hulu and Disney Plus into a single app. The full standalone Hulu app is expected to shut down in 2026.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I'm not telling you that HBO Max is going away. I will say, don't be surprised if HBO Max, if that Netflix owns, if at Netflix this good deal goes through and Netflix owns all of this in 10 years, HBO Max is a thing of the past. Because it could take 10 years to integrate all of this stuff. But once Disney got all of that Fox stuff, they rolled it into one app. And they'll keep ESPN separate for a while, but that's different. But it's all because right now you can see ESPN stuff in Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So um so yeah, this is where I came where I was like this is huge.
Okay.
Um
I mean, we've
I
been
will
going about an hour, man.
yeah, I will disagree with one I understand where Kim was coming from when he said movies are dying. Someone had to say it. They are going to be a niche entertainment like live plays. Movies are great, but theater going to undermine the movie going experience. I will agree with part of what you said, Ken. I do agree that the movie experience has to change, and a lot of people blame Netflix for that. And I think a lot of that onus has to be on us as consumers and on the theater chains because they got greedy. Because there's no reason if I go to a theater, concessions should be that price.
Sure.
There's no reason I go to a theater like as and we as consumers have to be better about going to support things so that it stays in the theater and not just supporting the big budget Marvel movies. Going to support little movies like Weapons, Sinners. What's the cute little movie that just came out from uh
Zootopia
Brandon?
too.
No, not Zootopia 2. That's no, that's not a cute little movie. Well, let me tell you
That
that.
that is a cute little movie.
It's not a um indie film. Brendan Fraser. Um
Oh, Rental Family.
yes. Going to the theater to see things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I just watched, and I meant to see it in theaters, and I never got a chance to, and I'm mad at myself. But I finally watched it on Netflix. Land of Bad. Oh my gosh, that was a great film. And I remember when that trailer came out, and I was like, I'm going to the theater to see that, and I never got a chance to, and I was so mad at myself, and I forgot about it, and I finally watched it on Netflix, and I was like, this movie is amazing, and I should have seen that in theater. And I'm so mad at my, and that's why I said we have to be better at that. So I think movies are dying, but I think it's up to us to support, get together and say, okay, hey, I'm going to see this. Calling somebody and say, let's go see this film. Supporting places like for us, we have a local theater called the Nickelodeon. Going to the Nickelodeon, seeing independent films or films that they have and supporting them and seeing smaller films, getting out there. Past Lives, that's another indie film that got a lot of but finding these little stories like that and supporting them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, but we've been ranting for enough. What got you through the week?
So we were talking about games with black female leads. I think the
Hmm.
last thing we recorded, I actually started playing Forspoken,
Hmm.
the PS5 launch game. That's interesting. Um, I'm having a pretty good little time with it. I am pretty sure I know where the story is going, which to me is never a good sign because, as I told people, I
Hmm.
I, uh, I never pick up on stuff, but I feel like I'm picking up on this a little bit too fast. So I'm wondering what that means about the story. But I'm enjoying the combat a lot, um, and I'll finish it because I also picked it up because I thought it was about to leave PlayStation Plus today, but I think it leaves maybe on the 16th, so I still have some time to try and finish it up. But I'm enjoying that. Still playing Two Point Museum. Um, I saw two movies today. I saw Zootopia 2, which was fantastic. I think Zootopia 1 still hits harder, but Zootopia 2 was very good.
Yeah.
And I
Well, I
saw
mean,
now you,
so
huh?
they solve racism. So I
They,
mean, that,
they did. They did. Um, and I also saw Now You See Me, Now You Don't. It was all right.
is that
It was
the third
fine.
one?
Yeah, it's the third one.
Yeah.
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 Didn't
I'll
need to
wait
see
for
it
that.
in theaters, but I just needed to burn time because I was in Charlotte.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, it was fun.
yeah, I'll wait for that in theaters. I do want to see um, Zootopia 2. That's the one I told Evan I would take him to, but I may like bow out and let his grandmother take him because she likes going to the theater, and so that might be something they do together. But I I may have to take one. I may have like she can't take him by herself, so one
Sure.
of us will end up going. So
Right.
it might be me. For me, you talked about video games. I have not played anything because oh, it's by the door. I packed up my PlayStation, so it's in a box. I did
Oh wow.
buy a new controller because I started
Hmm.
getting that drift. So I was like, they're on sale for Black Friday. I did buy, and I have somewhere in one of these boxes Death Stranding 2. So I have that, and I'm probably going to get Ghost of Yote for Christmas for myself.
I yeah, I think I don't have any knowledge, but I feel like there's going to be DLC for that, so I'll just wait for the Game of the Year version to come out. I'm hoping, and
So,
then I'll finally pick that up.
so I have those things. Show like I told you, I watched Land of Bad on net. It's on Netflix, and I was like, "Damn, this movie is good." The Hemsworth brothers are underrated as acting brothers. Liam, uh, Chris, we know has talent. What's the other one? The one that was in Westworld?
Chet,
No,
Steven,
no. Stop just
Bart,
naming names.
um,
Anyway, the
Hezekiah.
stop it.
Oh, all right, never mind.
Um, they're in it. Milo Vert.
Ventimiglia,
Yeah, him. He's in it,
Peter
and Russell.
Fratelli.
Yeah, and Russell Crowe's in it. Uh, that it was a really good. Yet all of them are blonde. Ken. Yeah.
Luke Hemsworth.
Yes, thank you. He's in it. They're. I think Liam gets a bad rap sometimes for some of the films that he's in. He does a very good job in this. Very believable. Um, Luke is very good too. Um, but so I've been watching that and Last Frontier on Apple. Really good. I've been enjoying it. It's last episode just dropped. I'll probably watch that tonight while I bake some cookies and pack. Um,
Somebody brought up Pluribus on Apple Plus TV. I
so
really
that's
like the first episode, and I'll keep watching that.
that's in my Slow Horses. I'm up to season 5 and I forgot how good
Good
that
for
show was.
you. Yeah, the
Well,
show's fantastic.
so I watched the first two seasons. Me and you talked about this. I watched the first two, and then I fell off, and then something season 5 dropped this year, and I was like, oh shit, let me go back and finish. So I watched season 3, loved it. Then
Mhm.
I had some downtime, and I watched it at work. I started at work, and I was like, oh shit, should have never done this. And I, um, uh, yeah, he's getting some hate for taking on Geralt, but I think as an actor he's underrated. But I also think he's playing. He needs to find his niche, and I think he'll be all right. Um, because he's really good in this, and I don't want to spoil it. When you realize who he's playing, you're like, okay, I get it. He does a really good job with that. Um, so yeah, Pluribus is in my uh, queue. Same thing with Severance, Stranger Things. I got some time coming up after we move. While I'm unpacking, I'll watch some of this stuff. Um, so yeah, we may have to record next Saturday because I think I got to work the other job.
I got to
So,
watch John Cena's final match next Saturday. So
so yeah, we'll definitely record it. So we can tell you what the chat will be, what the topic will be, and God forbid something big happens. Um, uh, um, sorry, the game is on Ohio State versus Indiana, so I keep watching every now and then because I have ADHD and I'm probably on the spectrum. Um, so I was thinking, me and Michael, we love movies. We talk about movies, and there's some very bad movies out there, and there's some very good movies out there. And we always talk about what TV show or what movie would you like to see a sequel to, yada yada yada. Fuck all of that. What's a bad movie that deserves to be remade? And who would you get to star in it or make it? And this has to be bad movies. Like don't come back with saying, "Oh yeah, I think The Matrix." Nah, nope, 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 nope. I'm talking truly bad. I'm talking Wing Commander. Yeah, I'm talking terrible. I'm talking uh terrible movies, and not like Madam Web terrible. I'm talking movies that came out to you were like that was a great premise and you screwed it up. I want to see, and so Me and Michael are going to reboot some movies that were bad, don't hold up, and let's redo them right. Stop remaking good stuff. Start remaking some shitty stuff,
Hmm.
and we'll pick 3 to 5, and we'll have fun
We'll
with it.
pick three. We ain't doing five. We'll
I mean,
pick three because
yours
we
could be
will.
fun.
No, you know. If we do five, we'll be here forever
Yeah, maybe we need to be here forever. There's a lot of
because
there's,
you'll expound on it forever. Like, no, we'll do five. We'll be here. This is crazy.
you don't know that.
That'll be a
But
3 hour episode.
hey, these people deserve a 3 hour episode. Nothing.
Okay,
Um,
sure.
so Kay, I don't the video game awards or the Banks. I don't know. Michael's
Yes,
definitely gonna watch it.
I'm
Um,
gonna try to stream it.
if you stream, I'll try to jump on. I don't know when. Like, when is the video game awards? Oh shit!
Every time you touch stuff, you're like, "How does this work?" As if you're not a director.
I mean, don't get me started. Um,
Okay.
I'm I'm not even
The video game awards are Thursday. We
this
will try
Thursday.
to stream them. Yeah, this Thursday. Um,
You know what? I'm off. I'm actually off,
okay.
but
Um,
I have kids, so we'll see.
yeah, I will
But
try to do a couple little tests to see if I can get it to stream right. In the past, I know we've done it and it seemed like it's okay, and other times we've done it,
sucked.
it seemed like it's been very spotty.
It
Like
sucked
we can see it on our end, okay, but
for
streaming
y'all.
out
It
to you,
sucked.
yeah. So we'll see what we can do on the video
And
game
I
award.
don't know how good my internet's gonna be in the house. Like, I got to figure out the internet situation because we have it there. I just got to
Sure.
figure out. But I will have my own room.
Oh,
I
you
will
got
have a.
that figured out?
Yeah, I got. I know. Katie was like, "Well, where are you going to stream at?" And I was like, "Well, I thought I would have." She's like, "What about the guest room?" And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Oh yeah, there will be that."
Oh, Kay brought up a button, or brought up some. Do you want us to pick some movies we push should be rebooted? Kay, I would say once we put out the taped version, in the comments of that you guys should put in some movies because then we could follow up on like the next
Yeah,
live one that we do with the movies you guys talked about, maybe.
yeah. Because we'll definitely, like, I'll answer you. I apologize if I haven't been communicating. It just life. I was supposed to, like Michael will tell you, life gets in the way.
Life gets
Like
in the
Jeff
way.
Goldblum says, life finds a way. For me, life
Yeah,
gets in the way.
yeah.
So, but uh,
Cool.
but that's it, everybody. I know Michael hate me for saying this. Try not to watch the news too much. That shit is depressing.
Nah, I need y'all to watch news all the time. I need a job. I need y'all to watch all the negative news in the world. Keep me
Try not to watch.
employed.
Try not to watch it too much. Do what you love. Find the things that you love, and take care of yourselves.